Okay then. It's all gone a bit crazy. Aha! Where am I? I'm here somewhere. Okay then. It's all gone a bit crazy. Ah! Right then. I think this is working. Let's see how we're doing on the live front. Probably my messiest start ever. Don't even know if I'm live yet. Aha! Where am I? I'm here somewhere. Okay then. Who can tell? It's all gone a bit crazy. Ah! Right then. I think this is working. Let's see how we're doing. I guess I need to open the live front. The Facebook bit. Probably my messiest start ever. And don't even know if I'm live yet. Over there. Where am I? I'm here somewhere. There we go. Okay then. Go away. Who can tell? It's all gone a bit crazy. Okay. Ah. Right then. Excellent. I think this is working. Now I don't see how we're doing. I guess I need to open the live front. The Facebook bit. Probably my messiest start ever. Don't even know if I'm live yet. Over there. Where am I? I'm here somewhere. Okay. Okay then. So no one's on just yet. Who can tell? Which is probably a good thing. On a bit crazy. Okay. Because for some reason. Right then. As I say, I think this is every time I go now. I don't see how we're doing.
Software don't seem to be doing the right
thing. And it really doesn't. The Facebook seems probably my messiest start ever. Don't even know if I'm live yet. Where am I? Okay then. No one's on just yet. Who can tell? Which is probably a good thing. On a bit crazy. Okay. Because for some reason. Right then. As I say, I think this is every time I go now. I don't see how we're doing.
Software don't seem to be doing the right thing.
And it really doesn't. The Facebook seems probably my messiest start ever. Don't even know if I'm live yet. Where am I? Wow. Okay, that was scary.
Try to stop this, but that ain't right. People getting killed over color. But you can't tell me no to color can't be my brother. But I stay colorblind and I try to find a way like on vote to get it across and try to free your mind. I'm coming rough and rugged, regardless of my color. Tell you to your face, there's a way I'm undercover. Coming up strong with my boys making noise. No freak fraud, you see you got the real McCoys. For those who refuse to understand or comprehend, we're in this together from the beginning to the end. So wake up, it's time to use your brain. Colors only skin deep and our blood runs the same. What you get, we got 5 nations. You think that's smooth? Well, we become one nation under the blue because we colorblind. You know, just like it should be. He's what? White. Damn, I didn't even notice. Hey, to all the kids, we're trying to make you see. United colors don't exist in the eyes of BNP. That's why my mother said, keep in mind that's universal. Instead of thinking in a way that is reversal. To say one is better than another. Man, things are messed up when it comes down to color. If I could stop racism, I would need no persuasion. What's a Milky Solo? The funky Eurasian. Bring me along, the colors are united. Whoa, bring the alarms, racism we're fighting. Yeah, bring me along, the colors are united. Whoa, bring the alarms, racism we're fighting. Yeah. My point of view is strong and yo, we got it going on. I do it right, you see, and so it's not wrong to have a reason to deal with any obstacle. No, I'm not a racist, I'm far too responsible. Anyway, never mind the dark side, see the light.
Right then, ladies and James. I'm not even sure if this is working. It looks like there's one person watching. You'll have to say hello in the chat box down there somewhere because for some reason I seem to have a load of stuff missing from my well, according to my phone, I'm live anyway. I'm not even sure. It's like my streaming software seems to be missing a load of menus and stuff. I guess it's going. It's according to this, I've been going for like 7 minutes 40 already, which is great. 2 people watching and 1 like, which is awesome. Thank you very much. So that probably tells me that you can see me and stuff. I've got the chat box open here and on my phone here. So hello and welcome to Saturday night, whoever you are. I'm assuming Andy T is one person. I'm guessing we may get Brian, or we may get Vicky? Anthony, hi. Thanks for that. I've just seen your message, and now at least I know I am getting through. It's weird. I got all my software open, and it wasn't long since I did a video. But, yeah, I opened up the screen of my streaming software, and it's like, seems to be missing all the usual stuff that I look at. So I'm like, am I even live? I don't know. So my bottom line is to check the phone that it's all going. So how is everybody? I mean, like I say, there's 2 viewers. Actually, I just realised one of the viewers is me because I'm watching myself on my phone. Anyway, Anthony, how are you doing? What you been up to? Have you had a good weekend so far, etc.? You may notice that I have quite a nice goblet here. I bought these from a charity shop because I do love a good charity shop thing, and these are silver plated or something. I got them really cheap because there was 5 of them. Obviously, 1 got broke. For some reason, the chat box was missing. Oh, so I guess it's back now. Okay, well that's good. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I've just had the biggest Chinese meal in the world. Yummy, yummy. And this has been staring at me for far too long. I am a rosé person. Do not judge. And I've been promising myself a wee tipple for months. Oh, listen to that. So, what have I been up to? Well, you can't quite see it, but in the background, I've got a metric ton of black EVA foam, which I've been doing my Andor build, which is a commission I've been asked to make, and I'm filming a bit of it today. Did a lot of it last week and the week before. It's all going up pretty much every week on YouTube, every Tuesday, except for the Tuesday that is thingy that is coming up. Because I'm doing something slightly different. Anyway, cheers everyone. Oh, this is quickly becoming my favourite drink. I do like a Jack and Coke, obviously, but I am a rosé person and have been for a long time. So this is not sponsorship, by the way, YouTube. I'm just saying it's my favourite. It's Barefoot White Zinfandel. If you ever feel the need to pop around. Dr. Mad Studio, hello. Hammerheads. I'm not even sure about that reference. I don't know what that means. But Hammerhead was one of my favourite Cantina aliens. I think he was my favourite. Oh, I got a soft spot for Greedo. But no, Hammerhead. I had the figure of Hammerhead. He was great. I just thought his name was Hammerhead, because it kind of is. Turns out he's an Ithorian, and his name in the... Oh, hang on. Momor Nadon. Nadon. Now, that's either the name of the Hammerhead in the Mos Eisley Cantina, or that's the name of the Jedi Hammerhead that I had a statue of once. Anyway. Enough Star Wars talk. I'm a little bit Oh, I see. Space Precinct. Yeah. I used to watch that when it was on telly. Thought it was really interesting because it felt like a cross between a Jerry Anderson puppet show and obviously he wanted to do a live action show, so there was lots of decent animatronics in it. It was a bit cheesy, but, whatever. It was good. 5 viewers now. Awesome. This is good for a Saturday night. So I'm a little bit Star Warsed out at the moment. I really hope The Mandalorian is good. It usually is, so, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going right off the Bad Batch. I just can't get my head around the fact that a bunch of at least 60-year-old soldiers, because they age twice as quick as everyone else, because they're clones, would take a 13, 14-year-old girl into battle with them and then listen to her advice. What? Sorry? Yeah, I know I'm thinking too much about it, but every episode seems to be getting a bit more just filler. Not too fussed on it, to be honest. Oh, goodness me, this is good. A friend of mine said, messaged me earlier, said, do you mind if I pop round for an hour or two? He was here for about 6 hours. I'm not moaning about it. I don't get visitors very often, so that's cool. I guess we've got Andy, Anthony, Dr. Mad Studio, and at least 2 more people. So hello, anonymous people, whoever you are. You could say hello in the chat box so I know who we've got here. That would be cool. That would be nice. But yeah, what else is happening? Bloody students. This is my notebook. It's a black notebook, and the Doctor Who convention. Is this a UK convention? I keep forgetting. But I threw a load of spray paint on it. Just sprayed it into the lid of the spray paint. Took it outside and went and splattered it with blood. So that worked really well. This has got all my notes for the film in it. And the reason I mention Bloody Students is you may have seen on my socials that, yes, everyone does have different ice cream flavours. The reason you may have seen on my socials that I was feeling a bit despondent about Bloody Students. I think it was the wind down at the end of last year and the January, which, nothing happens in January for anybody. And just made me feel a bit despondent that I'd worked so hard all through last year, and I hadn't, it's all sort of ground to a halt. People aren't replying to emails, not a lot's getting done, money stopped coming in, and it's kind of like, I had this kind of little bit of like a wobble thinking, if I stop right now, I could actually get the money I invested back out, my own savings money, refund people who have paid anything in, and just have an easier, quieter life. But I have had some of my cast, especially Angharad, who is one of the main cast, and it's her birthday tomorrow, I think, or is it Tuesday? Vicky, hi Vicky. It's all right, you didn't miss anything. You just missed the usual floundering where I tried to get set up. But what I was saying is that Angharad Ford, who's playing one of my characters, one of my cast characters. She sent me some messages of support and said, look, me and another actor met up recently and we were excited about Bloody Students, so we still want to do it. A good friend of mine from the rap band days messaged me and said, dude, if you need to take a rest, take a rest. You don't answer to anyone and you don't have any deadlines. So, take a rest if you have to. So that's, he's right. And I'm not always going to have 100% enthusiasm because this also ties into another thing I've been moaning about or going on about for quite a while, is that I'm fairly sure that I've got ADHD and have had most of my life. I haven't, disclaimer, I haven't actually been diagnosed. I've asked my GP to refer me for an assessment, and I'm not going to use it as an excuse. I just now know it's an explanation for a lot of weird things that I do, and the way my energy goes up and down, and the way I'm motivated by deadlines and urgency, and I often get bored with stuff, but not to the point where I want to give up. It's more I just kind of get bored of the status quo, because as Dr. Horrible once said, the status is not quo. Right then, Space Precinct members, Will Barton, Andrew Tiernan. Don't know them offhand, off the top of my head. I wonder if I open up... I'm going to open up a browser. Open new window. Where is this? I don't even know where this is going to go. I've got two monitors and it's all over the place. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I'm just going to type in Space Precinct Cast. So, who have we here? Show more. Wow. List of all these people, and not one is Will Barton and Andrew Tiernan. Oh, queer. Let's have a quick look. IMDb. Here we go. Cast. Stars. So, Will Barton. Are you sure? Will Barton played a forensic, I think. Yeah, and your Star Wars project sounds good, man. Andrew Tiernan? Did I miss Andrew Tiernan? Yeah, what happened to Rob Youngblood, who played... Oh, no. Is that Brogan? He's the main guy? Ted Shackelford? Yeah, Ted Shackelford. Oh, man, he's getting on. He's still about. Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. What was there? Somebody... Andrew Tiernan? Can't see him. Oh, here he is. Andy Sturgeon. He played Andy Sturgeon. Okay. Again, not a face I recognise. What has he been in? 300, the original 300, and Automata. Oh, I remember Automata. That was a good film. Anyway, yeah. So, thankfully, my kind of slight wobble. Hi, Tommy. How you doing? Yeah, I'm currently watching an ideal helmet to wear. I'm hoping it doesn't go up in price. It's due to end in about 7 days. If not, I'll look for another one. But you know, the right kind of helmet we've talked about is a good thing to get. I do own a standard motorcycle helmet, open-faced helmet without the chin thing. But I don't know if it's big enough. I don't even know if it's the right shape. But we'll see what happens with the one I'm watching on eBay. And I'm assuming in the week I'll be ordering the red vinyl hide, or vinide as they call it, faux leather, and the other stuff we talked about. So, as I was saying, my slight wobble, my crisis in confidence has abated, so I don't feel as bad. I would be wrong to jack it in altogether for the following reasons. A, I know for a fact that if I gave it all up and said, let's just not do it, in a few months' time, I'd feel differently and regret having done that. Oh yes, say hello to Colin Baker. He will probably say, when is he going to hire me to do his next book as an audio? It was many years ago, but I'm sure he remembered. He did like my book. Oh, by the way, sorry, because I'm drinking tonight, I'll start getting very rambly, more so than usual. The last 3 occasions leading up to Crimbo that I drank this, I ended up with a huge headache. So I hope not, because it tastes lovely. It's my favourite rosé, and if it gives me a headache, I'll be very upset. So I might have to stop drinking it, you know? But let's just carry on and see what happens. In the name of science, right? So what is coming up for me regarding the film? Well, I have to decide. I know it's not a great time money-wise for anybody. I have to decide at some point this year to launch a crowdfunding campaign. It's a little scary because if it doesn't work, we may not be able to shoot the film this year. And if it does work, it still means a heck of a lot of work for me because, as you know, crowdfunding campaigns have rewards involved and perks, or whatever they call them. I think it's rewards on Kickstarter and perks on Indiegogo. And that'll be like the T-shirts and other sorts of gifts and stuff in return for, the pledges. And that's crazy. Yeah, do you know what, Dr. Mad Studio? I might be wrong, but if you look on my YouTube channel, you may find audio versions of Kangazang, but I'm assuming it's just the first book that I'm reading. I know I did like 1 video per chapter, and I got to about chapter 8 or 9, just reading it myself. The Colin Baker version, obviously, as you know, has got all sound effects and music and all this kind of stuff. It's much, much better. It's got Colin Baker in it. I did start reading and recording Kangazang 2 Star Stuff, but I can't remember if I uploaded it at all. I'm not sure. I might do, though, because the books are old enough. I know they may be getting reprinted at some point. We have talked about it quite a lot, but, there's so many books coming down the pike, as they say. It's just a matter of getting around to it. But I might do an audio version. Just by myself, just when I get a chance, read it myself, because, to do a full edit job and get someone like Colin Baker in to read it. We originally had the idea that we could have Colin Baker to do one of the books, Sylvester McCoy to do one of the books, maybe David Tennant to do one of the books. It all costs a lot of money. It's cheaper if I do it myself. I can record it right here, and between myself and my publisher, we can edit a chapter each, and it'll be, I can put it online, and we could sell it on Audible and that kind of thing. It'd be nice to put it on Spotify, etc. Because I know a lot of people are really into audiobooks now. They tend to... I've got really bad hair, I just noticed. Man, yikes. So, well, I've got hats. I've got 2 hats here. I did wear 2 hats earlier on today. I was Terry 2 hats. I've got a 3rd hat over there I just found. I've got 3 scarves. I've got 3 hats and 3 scarves floating around. Yeah. I'm going off on tangents again. But, oh wow, you've read all 3. Oh, so that's amazing. Do you know what? I'm finding it hard to remember what happens in the other 2, in the 2nd and 3rd book. I know the 2nd book is more concerned with M25 going missing. We just won't go into spoilers. He just goes missing briefly, goes off on a mission. And the 3rd one is about Ehua, the son of Spooner. Ehua. Now, Ehua comes from a long time ago on BBC Radio 1. They had the Steve Wright show. He had a character on there called the Pub Singer, and he would come on and do the whole Vic Reeves, and he'd sing songs that you couldn't understand. And Vic Reeves started doing that in Shooting Stars years later. And one of the things was like that. And that was a shorthand for Pub Singer, so it was Ehua.
Ehiwe.
So I start using Ehiwe as a name. So it turned into the name for when you kind of sneeze or cough. It's like Ehiwe, like that. So that's where Ehiwe gets his name from. Also, I forget whether it's book 2 or book 3. There are two characters called Gwaggle and Twong, who are basically thugs. They came from... Gwaggle came from a Welsh train station, and I think that the sign said the station was called Winegron Park. Underneath it said Park and Ride. I think it's Park and Ride in Welsh. I'm going to check this out I'm going to quickly check this out because I could be wrong. I'm just going to quickly type it in here. Okay. Oh no, it's Mind the Gap. It's Mind the Gap in Welsh. Mind the Gap is Goeliwch I Gwagle. And Gwagle means gap. It's spelt Gwaggle, but only with one Gwagle. And I like the idea of Gwaggle. And Twong came from my youngest kid, who was about 5 or 6 at the time, and had a bit of a lisp when they spoke, and said, "Dad, you're quite twong," meaning strong. "Dad, you're very twong." So Gwaggle and Twong, that's where they come from. Anyway, no more spoilers, you're right. Buy me books. Honestly, I've never made a penny in royalties from my books. I've always said that Small Cosmos, the 3rd book, is completely... any money it makes from sales goes directly into Candy Jar Books. Because Candy Jar have... I've been there from the start. Candy Jar was formed solely to publish my book. My first book, Kangazang. And they've gone from strength to strength ever since. And apart from, being my friends, they keep me in, regular work. So any... what's the word? Any royalties and proceeds, profits from Kangazang 3, Small Cosmos, goes to Candy Jar. And also my other book, my children's book, Monsters Next Door, which I did during the lockdown, all of that goes to Candy Jar as well. I know I'm not going to get rich from, from these books. So I'd rather the money go back into the publisher who keeps me in work, But I will definitely look into audio versions of the other 2 books, because they do take a while to record, obviously, and edit. And, if we're going to reprint them at some point, with new covers and this kind of stuff. In fact, the covers, all 3 covers are going to look like Small Cosmos. The first one's going to be orange with a space opera. That's weird. I take a drink and then I cough. No. So, first book is orange with a space opera. Second book is purple with the nanobot, and the third one. I don't even have a hardback of Star Stuff, but I know where there are about 5 or 6 in stock, and that's in Christian's the Comic Guru shop in Cardiff. He still has 5 or 6 of them on the shelf. He did say I can come and pick one up at some point, so I might do, because I don't have a copy of my own. The problem is, it's like when I was in the boy band. I had a handful of copies of our records and stuff, and people just turned up and said, "Can I have that one? Can I have that one?" I ended up giving them away. I actually literally did a J.R. Hartley and bought one of my own CDs the other day, and I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. You might be able to. Right at the bottom of this shelf unit. No, I don't think you can see it. At the bottom of this shelf unit here is a small CD rack, and the top 10 CDs are my own records, which is quite sad. But I thought I'd keep a copy every now and again. I'm trying to find. In fact, I'll go get one and show you. Hang on. Here we go. Right, so there's my stack of my own records. Our first single was called "Bring On the Sunshine," and it had a really boring cover. It's falling to pieces. Great, much like my music career. No, it was. Yeah, this is in bad state. Both of them are broken. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, we had "Bring On the Sunshine," which was funded by not funded. It was the prize for the Dance Energy competition where we won our record deal. That's got 6 mixes on it. So it didn't have a photo of us, and it's under the name Best Shot Posse, which wasn't quite right. Our name is actually Best Shot, and this song, United Colours, are the one that got to number 64 in the chart. Doesn't sound very much, but I'm quite proud. And I bought one of these the other day because occasionally you find them on eBay and stuff. But I want the cassette single of this, United Colours. I've got a cassette single of Bring On the Sunshine, so I've got all 4 formats. I've got CD, 7-inch, 12-inch and cassette. But I don't have the cassette single version of this. The video to this is actually on YouTube. And someone has commented underneath saying, "Oh, I've got the cassette single of this." And I was like, dude, it's probably I think it's somebody from Cardiff. I was like, dude, if you want some money, I'll buy the cassette single off you, because I can't find it anywhere. I've looked and looked and looked. Discogs, eBay, Etsy, the lot. Okay, let's read some comments. Ramsey Campbell once said to me, he has a load of various prints of his novels from over the years. He keeps them at his own. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have a lot of prints of my stuff. I've got quite a few copies of Kangazang, the first one, because it had a number of different covers from different sort of attempts at printing it. But I don't have any of Star stuff, and I think I've got one copy of Small Cosmos, which is not fair. Anyway, we've got 7 people watching, which I'm really chuffed. Every time the number goes up a little bit, I'm like, wow, people are watching. It would be nice if everyone spoke, or not spoke, or just said hello in the chat, so we can talk about stuff. Otherwise, I ramble, and I'm like, what else are we going to talk about? So I know we've got, by the look of it, Thomas, Mad Studio, Anthony, and Andy. And Vicky, sorry. Yeah, so I do not know when or what I'm going to do next with the film. Me and Ang Harrod are currently putting together her costumes. She has a number of costumes, and one of them is a and Matthew Herbert. Hello, mate. How you doing? We're working on her costumes. One of them is a tribute to the character Trash from Return of the Living Dead. If your mum was here, she'd be saying I chat too much. Yeah, my mum. If my mum was here, God rest her soul, she'd be like, "How do you go online and talk to people?" Because I'm the shyest person she knows, and I still am, really. But I think it was my time when I got into rap and got into the band and stuff. Because I really wanted to do that, it got me out of my shell quite a bit. Because obviously I had to stand on stage and be a rapper. So Matthew H will tell you all about being a rapper, because he's a bloody good rapper and still going strong. Unlike us retired old gits. One day you're gonna have to wheel me out on stage, mate, or at least into a studio, and I'll do an 8-bar that sounds like it comes from 1984. Yeah, so still no sign of a headache yet. I'll let you know, because this apparently is what gives me headaches. But then the last 3 times I drank this, I was Easier to talk online. Yeah, I think it is. And, well, we know this because of, the keyboard warriors. It's easy for them to be brave online when they're anonymous. But the last 3 times I drank this leading up to Christmas, I ended up with a huge headache that lasted like all day. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to give me a headache today. And even if it does, is it just because wine is giving me a headache? Or is it that this particular wine is giving me a headache? So that means I've got to do another live at some point with a completely different brand of wine and see if that gives me a headache. It's all excuse to drink, isn't it? I'll drink to that. But then again, I'll drink to anything, savvy? Why is the rum gone? Why is the wine gone, as they say? My Spider-Man one, blimey. I don't even know if that's still online. Rhymer Man, I called it, didn't I? Yeah. I quite liked the lyrics. It was cheesy. It was very cheesy. And that kind of... There was a lot of historical stuff, wasn't it? It was just kind of about the forming of Best Shot and stuff. Blimey, yeah. Do you know what? My big problem with the whole rap for myself now is I went through a weird thing at the end. After Best Shot fizzled out after a year or two, I kind of went through a weird phase because rappers have to be super confident, right? And they have to believe in what they're saying, etc., etc. And I will try a different wine. I've got a different rosé downstairs, actually, but I went for the one I like the taste of first. But I went through this weird confidence thing where I could no longer write rhymes that I didn't believe in. So, the whole kind of braggadocio stuff where you're just like, because I grew up on LL Cool J, he's my favorite rapper, and it was like, all about being, the baddest and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm not the baddest. I'm not the best rapper in the world. I don't take out sucker MCs with one rhyme, And I was like, it all felt a little bit kind of, oh man, who are you kidding? Who are you trying to fool? So it's very hard for me to write lyrics at the moment now, and has been for many years, to kind of, and also I haven't stayed on top of all the trends and the way of the styles of rapping. So anything I write will probably come out sounding like really primitive, really kind of boring, and just A B C A. A, B, C, B. A, B, C, A. A, B, C, B. It would just be a kind of really linear, Grandmaster Melly Mel style old stuff. The King of BS. That sounds good. Is it King of Bees or the King of BS? Well, ironically, we laughed about it a lot, that BS is obviously short for Best Shot. It's also short for bullshit. So, what can you say? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what, I don't know if I could actually bash together a track that was in any way, shape or form decent. I mean, I would probably just do it for myself. I don't think I'd try to get back into it, a bloody students rap. Worst idea ever. No, on that note, I did speak to Fordy. Fordy is one of Cardiff's longest serving rappers, and most well known, I think. And his nickname Fordy is kind of inspiration to my lead character. My main character in Bloody Students is called Fordy, but he's not really named after Fordy the rapper from Cardiff. The character's named Ford after Ford Prefect. But then I thought, well, if he's just a kind of a youngster, or a student, they'd call him Fordy anyway. So it kind of ties in nicely to Fordy the rapper. And Fordy did say to me, "Oh man, if your main character's called Fordy, then send me some samples from the film and I can use them in my tunes." I'm like, absolutely. So I thought, in the soundtrack, excuse me, wine burps. In the soundtrack for Bloody Students, there is potential for a rap tune. It'd have to be something fitting, I keep having this kind of thought. Do you remember Hijack, the terrorist group? that tune, something like that, something fast and or like they used Bring Forth the Guillotine, wasn't it? Oh, hang on. World's End. Was it Bring Forth the Guillotine or 20 Seconds to Comply? It was 20 Seconds to Comply, wasn't it? I think. By Silver Bullet. So that kind of tune might be good in the film. I just have the words Fight Back in my head, which sounds like a good title for a rap tune. Fight Back. And obviously the students are fighting back against the mummies, so that might be quite interesting. Fight Back. I'm confused now. Is it 20 Seconds to Comply? Is it 20 Seconds to Comply, or is it Bring Forth the Guillotine? I think it's 20 Seconds to Comply, isn't it? In The World's End. When Nick Frost goes mental and pulls out the two stools and starts punching people in the face using them as boxing gloves. Oh, I fucking hate this town! Yeah, what a film. What a film. Love that film. Anyway. Charbonniers, man. Those were the days. Such a weird time doing a big rap gig. For me, travelling just to Merthyr, which is just up the road, for me it felt like a different city. We went up there and there were so many people into hip-hop. I think it was our first big crowd that me and DJ Case played to. And... it's the first time we mixed with all the Cardiff guys, and yeah, absolutely, Matt. You betcha. You'd be first on the list. We were playing in this rap jam in a giant church, which is still there. I think did it burn down? I don't know. It was our first big crowd we played to, big mixed crowd as well. People coming from all over the place, and as little tiny skinny me and little tiny skinny DJ Case up on stage, with a bunch of hip hoppers from all over the place, including 40 and that. And we went through 2 songs. I think it was 2 songs. I'm not sure we did 3. I know the one song I definitely did was called Playing to Win. And you think the world was flat until I was 6. Don't worry, there are still people who are grown-ups who still think the world is flat, and the less said about them, the better. We played a gig, and the sound in that church was very loud, but it was also very reverby and echoey. And as a result, I couldn't hear the monitors. The beats were bouncing around the place, so when I started rapping, I just had to pick one beat and stick to it. So I think I was completely off. And I did a fast rhyme, and I've told you this before, I think. One of my rhymes said, I ain't down with amigos with oversized egos. And carried on, this mic is expensive. They're asking for free goes, that kind of thing. So when I came off stage, 40 came up to me and said, nice one, man, you did well. Although one thing I will say is, man, you shouldn't be dissing black people. I said, what? I didn't diss any black people. He said, yeah, you said something, I ain't down with no Negroes with egos. I'm like, no, I said I ain't down with amigos with oversized egos. And he went, oh, right, I thought you said I ain't down with no Negroes. I was like, oh, like I'd go on stage and say that as a white rapper. No, that's crazy. But hey, the first song you could all dancing to was Mr. Blobby's theme. Oh, and now you make me feel old, because Mr. Blobby for me was The Other Day. That was like the week before last, wasn't it? Did you see online the BBC are selling a Mr. Blobby costume? They're saying it's official, and it may have been used by the BBC, but apparently it wasn't used much. Yeah, there were fights afterwards, man. That's right. Lots of oversized egos, I guess. Lots of that. Hip-hop's always been, to me, I've always found hip-hop to still be in its infancy compared to something else like, reggae or ska or even, heavy metal. You rarely get a fight in a heavy metal club because they're all a bit chill. They're like, hey, we're all here for the music, dude. But hip-hop, there's a lot of posturing, isn't there? There's a lot of kind of, and, we found that in Bristol more than anywhere else. People are like, who do you think you're looking at? They're all like very standoffish. And you got to be careful in hip hop clubs because there is a lot of, a lot of posing, a lot of posturing, and a bit of aggression. So you got to watch it because it's all competitive. It's all about who's cool and who's not. And heavy metal has grown up a little bit where they very kind of like laid back and like, hey dude, whatever. So, I like Mr. Blobby too. But the Mr. Blobby suit I was talking about is about 70 grand on eBay now, and there's a disclaimer saying you're not allowed to hire it out, you're not allowed to make any money from it. And I just said, if I had that suit, I'd be standing outside the houses of people I can't stand at about 3 a.m. and be singing nursery rhymes in their garden just to freak them right out. That's what I'd be doing with Mr. Blobby costume. Well, this is going down wonderfully. Haven't got a headache yet. But saying that, I'm talking constantly, quite loudly, and I've got a ring light in my face, so I'll probably get a headache from that. But the good news is, 8 people. Oh, the second I said 8, it went down to 6. Okay, fair enough. Maybe we had some people on a Saturday night just kind of skim by the YouTube live and said, who is this loser talking about stuff? At least I got the live chat working. I'm going to take the risk now and not turn off my phone, but navigate away from my phone because I can see the live chat in front of me. And I'm just going to check the other socials because people may want to say stuff. No, it's all quiet on Instagram, which is good. Alrighty. And I gotta watch some telly. Brought my big telly upstairs now because Blobby. Yeah, he was scary. I did a t-shirt design. I think it's on TeePublic. I've got a Dalek in pink with yellow blobs all over him, but the head is Mr. Blobby. I think he's still on. I call it Bloblek. 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 So if you want a t-shirt with a cross between a Dalek and Mr. Blobby on there, go look for that. So I brought the big telly up. And Glazy's here, whether you like it or not. That's a Colin Baker reference. Very good. Oh, well, there you go. Thanks, Tommy. You could have asked me here. I do have... when I want to play any music, say if I have a toilet break, for example, I've got my my music player here, so I've got all the Best Shot tunes because they won't get me a copyright strike on YouTube. I tried to play something else earlier and I got a copyright strike. I was like, we'll have to censor it. But I can put on any one of my own tracks like United Colours and Ring on the Sunshine and some of the other tracks that we did over the years. And they're not going to get copyright strikes because they're not official, Let's have a look. United Colours was a song we wanted to put together because all 5 of us are from slightly different racial backgrounds. And at the time of recording it, apart from being the week I became a father, the same week while we were recording that song, the member of the BNP, which is the British National Party, which I don't think is still going anymore, but they were kind of a National Front, racist kind of party, and they managed to get one of their members into the Houses of Parliament, as an official MP. So that was like frowned on by a lot of people in the 90s. So we decided to do a song called United Colours about, we're against racism. So we got quite a bit of traction. And we did a photo shoot, which ended up in Smash Hits. Do I have the picture around here? No, it's in a box somewhere. But it's we did this photo shoot with us all 5 of us holding a big Union Jack around us, just to annoy the skinheads. And apparently, I don't know how we found this out. Our manager said that in the monthly newsletter from the National Front, and the Nazis, the neo-Nazis and all that, they did a little article about us saying, look out for this band Best Shot and their song United Colours. they're going to cause us some trouble. And we were like, yeah, bring it on. So that's cool. So the original Mr. Blobby is from Leeds, up there, up that neck of the woods. Well, that's nothing to brag about, is there? I mean, goodness, we've all got a cross to bear. My sister always likes bringing up stuff we grew up with. Some of them to my niece and nephew, like Rosie and Jim and Tots TV. Well, Rosie and Jim and Tots TV were both the same company with the... I forget the name of the actual production company, but they did the same puppets, didn't they? Tots TV was interesting because they had Tilly, Tom and Tiny. And Tilly spoke only in French, which was cool. Smash Hits and Kerrang were must-buys in the 80s. Kerrang's still going. And Metal Hammer. Remember Metal Hammer? Smash Hits. Yeah, we were in Smash Hits. We got our lyrics to United Colours. We got our lyrics to Wanna Pump, our third single, which never got released in Smash Hits. I think we did. We definitely got a review, and they said it's better. It said it was better than United Colours. And Lookin' magazine. Remember Lookin'? That was a 70s and 80s thing. My band was in the very last issue of Lookin' when they closed. The very last issue, they did a sort of half-page feature on us, which was nice. Yeah. So, anybody seen any films recently? Doesn't matter if they're new films or old films. Let me know. I've seen a couple of things. I did plan to watch The Fabelmans tonight. The Steven Spielberg sort of semi-biopic. That looks interesting. Last night I watched a DVD of When the Wind Blows, which was an animated cartoon from the 80s by Raymond Briggs, who did The Snowman. La 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 la, looking. I'm guessing that's a jingle from one of the adverts, I guess. I can't remember. But I do remember looking. They used to have brilliant covers, hand-painted covers with the $6 Million Man and Starsky and Hutch and all that on there. They were good. By the time we were in Looking, I do have the issue of Looking in a box somewhere. I don't think they had the painted covers then. It was just like, it just was trying to be smash hits. So there is that. The Terminators. Watched the first one last night. Yeah. I really like the Terminator. Terminator 2 is one of my favourite films of all time. I still love Terminator 1. Mainly for the last 10-15 minutes of it. The whole stop motion bit. Okay, I always wonder what happened to VH1. Yeah. I did watch a couple of YouTube videos recently about the fall of MTV. They stopped playing music videos, and unfortunately they had to, because music videos were available elsewhere and they had to find other ways, other audiences, so they went into reality TV, which sucks, but there you go. No films, but went to see 80s Live. Yes, you did, and you did wear your leg warmers. Excellent. I think a friend of mine went to the 80s Live thing, not last night, but recently, and had a really good time, because it's just musicians, isn't it, singing 80s tunes, which is a great idea. More wine. Do you know what? I've got the ever so slightest feeling of a headache coming, like right in the back of my eye here. Whether that's the lights, whether that's the talking, maybe talking and drinking at the same time. I don't know. I'll let you know if it gets worse, but I don't think. I'm still very cautious. Although I will say, like I've said before, this is the third occasion where I've been drinking barefoot white zin, and feel a headache coming, which is not good, because it's my favourite. It's like, imagine your favourite drink gives you a headache. What? That sucks. Yeah, so Space Precinct. Do you know what I need to start rewatching? Got to get back into Blake 7. Oh, I don't know. I don't think anyone's got this. Anybody remember Gilbert from Get Fresh on a Saturday morning? Gilbert was a green alien puppet, voiced by Phil Cornwell, who was in Stella Street and a few other things. Operated not by Phil Cornwell, but operated by John Eccleston, who worked for the Jim Henson Company, and he went on to do Farscape. But Gilbert had his own TV series. I did this cover myself, actually. This is a DVD cover I did for myself. He had this thing called Gilbert's Fridge, which was on about 4:30 on ITV in the 80s, 90s, 80s, I'm thinking, and it was just surreal. It was a surreal sketch show. Yeah. Again, Vicky, Gilbert and the Saturday morning show puppets. Now, with Gilbert, the operator John Eccleston, he ended up presenting a TV show on ITV called Brill, where he presented it and he operated the rubber fish puppet. The fish was called a Brill, right? But they did an episode all about Best Shot. And during the time, some of the boys in Best Shot used to do this thing like that. And the gag behind that is your neck. So you've got a huge head and a tiny neck. Pencil neck, okay? So we were telling John Eccleston this, and John Eccleston also puppeteered one of the wolves on it wasn't Get Fresh, it was what was the ITV show? You had Live and Kicking, What's Up Doc? And they had two wolves, Cockney wolves. All right, bruv. And John Eccleston puppeteered one of them. And we said to him, on Saturday, can you get one of the wolves to look at the camera and do this? And he did. It was brilliant watching this wolf. In the middle of talking, he just stops, the wolf goes, ugh. So that was cool. But no, I've got 4 episodes of Gilbert's Fridge, and I think there were 6 in total. So I need to get the other 2 somehow, because it's required viewing. Right, what have we got here? Roger and the Rotten Trolls. CITV. No, I don't remember that at all. Wow. You watched a documentary of an unreleased Carpenter film, Inhuman, which Alan Ladd got into production with some of the Star Wars post-production budget starring Michael Caine, written by Dan O'Banion. Wow, that's interesting. Alan Ladd was a genius, because he greenlit Star Wars when no one else would. And he was a very big factor in getting Planet of the Apes made, or if not him, his father, Alan Ladd Sr. Andrew Glazebrook, yeah, Jimmy T. Murakami directed Battle Beyond the Stars. I got the Blu-ray for Christmas, When the Wind Blows, and it's a 2-discer, so it's got the DVD version and the Blu-ray version, which isn't much difference in quality, to be honest. It still hasn't been cleaned up or anything, but there are lots of features about Jimmy Murakami on there, so that's great. I got 2 annuals, which were compilations of looking stuff, good stuff. Sadly, the likes of Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris appeared on many a cover. They did, yeah. Rolf Harris, Gary Glitter. I've always said I feel sorry for Gary Glitter, but I don't feel sorry for Paul Gadd. Now Martin Clunes played the narrator of Roger and the Rotten Trolls. That does ring a bell. Martin Clunes. Yeah. Tommy Essen says, "This is the best film I've seen in the last few weeks. The German remake of All Quiet on the Western Front." Right, okay. Oh, well, I'm not massively into World War II films, but I did love, Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that. So I have seen All Quiet on the Western Front available to watch, so I may have a look at that. I've seen clips online of all the compositing and the digital effects to expand the explosions and the sets and the crowds and everything else. So I'd be interested in looking at that. I am liking effects that you don't even notice. Okay, so let me just check my streaming software. It's still here. I'm going to do that and just quickly check if this does happen. It does look good, that. Yeah, it does look pretty heavy. I used to go out with a girl who worked on Saving Private Ryan. She used to make dead bodies, and she was a sculptor, and she used to punch hair into mannequins and stuff. And she worked in a room, and on the wall, on the door, they put a sign that said "Severing Ryan's Privates." So she made a couple of things there. Yeah, that's my Andor screensaver at present. The reason I've shrunk myself into the corner is open a new window. How do we do that? Bear with me. Open new window. Here it is. YouTube. Right. Bear with me, bear with me. Oh wow, Cardiff Music History has put up a copy of United Colours as audio only. A year ago they did that, okay. Anyway, but I have done my own sort of tiny edit of...
For Expedia members...
But go away, Ewan Gregor, with your Expedia nonsense. Alright. Everyone hang on to that. I'm going for a wee.
Try to stop this, but that ain't right. People getting killed over color. They're trying to tell me no, the color can't be my brother. But I stay colorblind and I try to find a way like on vote to get it across and try to free your mind. I'm coming rough and rugged, regardless of my color. Tell you to your face, there's a way I'm undercover. Coming up strong with my boys making noise. And freak forward, you see you got the real McCoys. For those who refuse to understand or comprehend, we're in this together from the beginning to the end. So, wake up, it's time to use your brain. Colors only skin deep and our blood runs the same. Bring me along, the colors are united. Whoa, bring me along, racism we're fighting. Yeah.
Well, I'm up. Yes, and it's the African brother. I got an Irish, not an African lover. Coming live and direct with the best text yet. Cause what you see is what you get. We got 5 nations. You think that's smooth? Well, we become one nation under the blue because we colorblind. You know, just like it should be. He's what? White. Damn, I didn't even notice.
Hey, to all the kids, we're trying to make you see United Colors don't exist in the eyes of BNP. That's why my mother said, keep in mind that's universal instead of thinking in a way.
Sorry, Rich. You gotta go. I'm really hoping I don't get a copyright strike for that. We shall find out. Get some hassle off thingy job. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. Did you ever watch stop motion TV show by Jerry Anderson called Lavender Castle? Yes, Neville worked on it, didn't he? I think Neville worked on it, my ex-boss. Grew up watching Thunderbirds, yeah. Andor was great. Yes, it was. British sci-fi, regardless of Star Wars, yeah, it had a lot of EastEnders people in it, didn't it? I've been rewatching bits of it today because of my commission build. Not really into raps. Catchy song. Yeah, it was, like I say, it was a 90s tune. It was a pop tune. The actual music for United Colours is completely replayed by the producers, but the original demo version was based on a song called Food for Thought by UB40. So that's all the music, and if you look on that YouTube video I just played, someone commented underneath, I hope you paid Mr. Tenor Fly for his Ring the Alarm bit that you sampled. I'm like, well, A, we didn't sample it. B, yes, we did pay him for it, because on the record, you'll see United Colours written by Vatsalo, Camilleri, Cole, Chaddy, Cooper, and Riley. Riley is Mr. Tanner Fly, who did the original Ring the Alarm, for the sound of dying, whoa, ay, ring the alarm. That was his song from a long time ago, and we sort of interpolated that into our chorus, Ring the Alarm, the colours are uniting. Lavender Castle, yeah, 1999. I've probably seen bits of it, but I think Neville worked on it. Who we both know, Andy, isn't that right? Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock already, so I've been online for about an hour. 1:07 according to that. The headache hasn't kicked in yet, which is good. I am drinking on a full stomach. Like I said, before we came live, I did have a huge Chinese, so I'm not drinking on an empty stomach. I don't think Andy Glazebrook will recognise this, but he might do. Do you recognise that? It's a DVD, it's a VHS cover that we used to use. We used to send out in VHS thingies, VHS cassettes. It was for the demos for Parkville Productions, who I used to work for, with Neville, etc. Anyway, what were we saying? Good days, actually, Parkville, because that's where I first heard about you, Mr. Glazebrook, because occasionally we'd see Neville would come in and go, look, Andy Glazebrook sent us this and that and this. You know, back in the day when you used to actually, do work and, used to generate pictures yourself rather than AI. Sorry, the wine's getting to me. Ali G in the house. AI. Oh, that's an idea. Do that. Generate pictures of Ali G using AI and call it Ali G. AI. Anyway, splishy splashy. This wine ain't going to drink itself. It's got to be gone because I'm not going to drink this in the morning. It'll go down the sink. So, got to finish the bottle. Anyway, yeah. All Quiet on the Western Front. I will make note of that. The Fablemans I do want to watch. Buy the CD single of United Colours off eBay just so you can put it in. Look, if you want me to just send it to you, I can send you the MP3 if you want to do that. I don't think anyone's going to mind. We never got any royalties from it. But, there are available on eBay, reasonably cheap. Bring on the Sunshine is also available on CD. You can get 12 inches as well. And the occasional 7-inch, which is quite nice to have. But I really, really want the cassette single of United Colours. And apart from that person who commented on my YouTube video that they have a copy on cassette, who's never got back to me since, I don't know where I'd get one, even if they even exist anymore. It's sucks, really. Why are these stuck together? I think they're stuck together because... Hang on. I'm going to ruin stuff. It's an elastic band that's gone all perished and horrible. Started sticking the two things together. Yeah, so sad as it is, buy my own records. Okay, what have we got next here? That was doing stuff for Ultra Guardians. Yes, it was, because Ultra Guardians was originally called Omniforce, and Neville was advised to change the name because there was something else online called Omniforce. So we came up with Ultra Guardians after a whole day of brainstorming names, and we came up with Ultra Guardians, and I did that logo using lots of bevels in Photoshop because I just learned bits of Photoshop. Nobody wants to see my pics of Big Daddy fighting Ivan Drago anyway. No, that'd be quite scary actually. Yes, so oh man, I got so much to do. I've got to do a live tomorrow at about 8 o'clock for a completely other job where I've been writing scripts. It's all based with NFT stuff, which I've got no knowledge about. I'm just writing scripts for a property around that, which I really want to get finished because they have paid me, fair play, they paid me well. and I've just got one more script to write, and I've got to get my head in there. Is it that difficult? Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, it's the same cover as this, obviously, but it's, you know, the picture, but kind of like that. You haven't got the cassette singles either. No, I've got the Bring on the Sunshine. I've got one copy of Bring on the Sunshine on cassette, you know, with a green cover. I can't get the cassette of United Colours for love nor money. I'm sure the rest of the guys in the band might have a copy. And they ain't going to give it up. Right, the CG version you did stuff for, was it animated in Korea? Yes. They took the stop motion version, copied it almost shot for shot in South Korea. With Mr. Lynn Taylor, who's the producer, I think, at the time, American producer. But yes, I think you sent over, I remember seeing, I'm not sure if this was yours, I think I've talked to you about this before. There was a nice landscape shot of a kind of, like the Grand Canyon. It was a big sort of dip in the ground with these towers outside it, with like, they looked like, towers looked like mushrooms. They had, you know, tall bits, and then they'd have these sort of roundish modules or domes on top. So I don't know if you did that. And also, was there a spaceship that was flying through the sky, you know, just above the Earth? It wasn't in orbit or anything. It was in the sky, and it had two very big, what do you call them? Like fuel things at the top, something like that, like airship, like an airship. Don't know if you did that or not. If I had the picture, I'd show you, but I don't have the picture. I've only got some very vague scribbles that I did for Neville back in the day. Let's just check. Oh, it's still me. And there's nothing going on my other screen. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, no, I do need to check on my... Oh, that's scary. Can you all hear me? Maybe... Can you all still hear me? Mine was ships in the jump gate type of thing. A big round ship and a long transport one. Right. The jump gate, yes. The long transport ship was called the Eclipse. A big round ship. I'm assuming that might have been Center World. So you can still hear me. My streaming software, there's no audio coming up at all. Zero audio on, because it's got those little what do you call them, meters? You know, they usually go into the red. They've stopped capturing me. So I don't even know if my streaming software is actually working now. But YouTube seems to be working okay, so let's just hold on. Okay. Thanks for telling me you can hear me. I had a feeling everything had gone quiet. Maybe I didn't set it up properly. YouTube is working fine. Opening credits, the round ship. That's interesting. It might be in a mining ship, because the opening thing, we had Jim Cummings, who went on then to do the voice of Winnie the Pooh, I think. But Jim Cummings has done tons of stuff over the years. But he did the voice of Jason Kang, and he was like, "It was 2048, and a new planet, Centerworld, entered our solar system, and there was plenty of money to be made." That was good. But in the non-CG version, I did 4 characters' voices. The first time I did character voices, Neville let me do a newsreader and a Sylvester Stallone impersonation, and I think a robot voice for something. I'm not sure what the 4th one was. I think it was just background stuff. I just recorded about 9 lines as the 5th Doctor, Peter Davison, for a fan audio that someone's doing. They're doing a kind of Doctor Who 60th anniversary type thingy, and they needed someone to do the 5th Doctor. I wasn't great, but I've never done the 5th Doctor before. The channels I used to grow up with were Cartoon Network, Toonami, Fox Kids, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. Well, I definitely remember Cartoon Network and Toonami. Brain fart was square. Sent it on Messenger now. Okay, where's my phone? Here we go. Let's look at this spaceship Spaceship, spaceship. Oh, wow. I don't remember that at all. Well, it's my logo, my Ultra Guardians logo, but I don't remember that at all. Yeah, again, mining ship, but I don't remember that in the CG version. I do have the CG version up there on VHS. Look, I just found one of a stack of postcards for, again, one of my projects that has never seen the light of day. It started off as a short film that I was writing when I was at Parkville, or comedy stroke Broadstroke, when Parkville turned into Broadstroke Productions. And this is called Maria, and as you can see, it's very sort of Art Deco. It started off as a film idea, short film, but then I thought I'd turn it into a book. So I didn't do that drawing, I did all the layout. My friend Craig Lewis, who's an artist, painted that, the character Maria. And on the back, the blurb says, Maria is a touching story about innocence, love and loss. The things we do to find love, the things we do when in love, are the things we do when love is lost. The story is the first of 10 collaborations. We didn't even get the one done. By Craig Lewis and Terry Cooper, both writers and artists from Wales. Limited edition copy for 2011. 2011 Candy Jar Books. I'll get back to this one day, because I think it'll make a nice little short story. I still got it written down. But again, never throw your ideas out, but life's too short. Okay, so one of my early CGI films I did when I was in secondary school, I did all the voices. I got some of them on an old YouTube channel. Ah, cool. Because I've got one of my CGI films from when I was in college, when I did a CGI course. Anyone from the UK will have heard of a sitcom called Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, about an accident-prone guy called Frank Spencer. So I did a short episode of that in CG, and it's really, really poor, but it was funny. But Frank Spencer character was played by Michael Crawford, who was in he was in little clips of Wall-E. Remember, Wall-E was watching Me and My Girl. He was the guy singing, and also most people will know Michael Crawford from being the Phantom of the Opera on stage, and Condor Man for Disney. And Michael Crawford actually got to see my short film of Frank Spencer, and apparently he thought it was cute. Channel is called CD3141. Excuse me. Ooh, Betty. Yes. Weirdly enough, Vicky, I did want to do a Frank Spencer short film in college because I could do the voice, the impersonation of Frank Spencer really well. But it turned, the actual short film I did, which is about 4 minutes long, it didn't have any voice. It had a ooh like that in it. It was a silent film basically, because it just played out with just sight gags. There was no dialogue in it. So it was just a bit of music and a bit of an ooh at the end. So I didn't get a chance to do my Frank Spencer impression. I know, it's a bit damn shame, isn't it? Betty, the doggy's done a whoopsie on the carpet. The software I used was the Movie Stunts and Effects developed by Lionhead Studios. That sounds cool. Ooh. We used to use, in college I did my degree on the cat's done a whoopsie in the kitchen. I know. Ooh, it's the nose. It runs in the family. Yeah, we did 3D Studio Max in college, and by the time we finished our degrees, it was kind of out of date. We were using Max version 5. And by the time we finished it was on like 7 or 8 or something, and nobody uses Studio Max anymore. Well, some people do, I suppose. I should have got into Blender. I found it difficult when I had a 3D printer. And I should have got into Smelly Cat. That's completely different now. You're going to be moving into Friends now. Blender. Everyone started using Maya, Softimage, that kind of thing, Lightwave. But if I could learn anything, I guess it would be Maya. Nowadays, I want to get back into a CG modeling software just so I can, like Fusion 360 for 3D printing. I don't have a 3D printer anymore, but I may buy one day once they come down in price and the technology is better. It's not your fault. I know. What are they feeding you? Okay, so TV. I spent all night last week, a good 7 hours, binge watching The Rig on Amazon Prime. And weirdly, it was like every episode wasn't great, but the cliffhangers were good, so it kept me going. There's only one college-made CGI film worth seeing, the classic Collins Bear animation, 15 seconds of pure genius, with a hilarious caption on the end on YouTube. I wonder who made that then? Not blowing your own trumpet or anything. 15 seconds? What's that point? Do you know what I did for one of my college? It was for the storyboarding module. You had to storyboard a short film or a scene from a book or something. And I storyboarded and did an animatic of Marvin the paranoid android versus the tank, the Frog Star tank, which was basically Marvin on a bridge having an argument with a tank. Now, I know there's an animated version of that on YouTube, but it's not my version. My version is done in pencil. But I don't think that's online anymore. I did all the voices because it's just for doing Marvin as well. I redesigned Marvin. I made him very round, like a skeleton, but he had the same kind of face, eyes and nose, which was quite nice. Guys, I think I better just let you go because while I'm super chuffed that, again, it's another 1 hour long video, and the lives do get lots of people watching, which is cool. And it's nice for me to chat to you guys occasionally live. But again, it's 20 past 10, and I've got to do a bit more work on this Andor machine for my Tuesday videos. And indie fan film, Indiana Jones and the Grey Ghost, set on the Queen Mary ship that gets captured by the Nazis within India. That sounds good. Wow. But yeah, I think I need to just finish off the last two glasses. And this of wine, probably while watching The Fabelmans on the telly. So yeah, best not milk it. I'll let you know tomorrow if the headache kicked in tonight. If I get a headache tomorrow, that's fine. That's hangover. But if I get a headache now, that thing. The annoying thing. Yes, I remember the annoying thing that became Crazy Frog, didn't it? I'm glad you like the live streams. I do enjoy doing them, although sometimes I feel like I should plan them a bit more in advance, so I've got stuff to show you, and rather than just sort of jump from topic to topic. But yeah, I mean, if you keep like them, I'll sleep well. I hope so, because I sleep now in my advanced age, as you can imagine. I only sleep for about 4 hours at any one time. I love sleeping, but if I hit the sack, I'll be up in 4 hours. So if I went to bed right now at 25 past 10, I'll be up at 25 past 2, like bing, and that's it. I'll be awake for a few hours and I'll want to go back to sleep again. So my sleeping is all over the shop. And I blame Channel 4, because about 4 or 5 years ago now, I was commissioned to do artwork for a Channel 4 Christmas film, which I stayed up all night doing because it was just me on my own. I had to draw loads of stuff. It got into a Channel 4 Welsh language Christmas film, and it was very similar to the Snowman Walking in the Air type stuff. It's about a young kid who fantasizes about being a superhero. So I had to draw as if I was a 10-year-old, but draw superheroes and all sorts of stuff, and horses and reindeers and things. And it turned out quite nicely, and I got paid really, really well. But I was up all night for about 3 or 4 weeks. And it'd be nice if they called me back to do something else. But that wrecked my sleeping pattern, and I've never been the same since. I'm constantly up till stupid o'clock, and then I may sleep half the day away because I've been up all night. People say to me, "Oh, you're lazy, you didn't get out of bed till 11 a.m. I'm like, yeah, but what were you doing at 2, 3 or 4 in the morning?
Oh, I was asleep.
Yeah, I was wide awake and working. So yeah, might try and give the Fabelmans a go tonight, if at all possible. Yeah. Oh, if anybody, Matt or Glazy will probably know this. Anybody knows of any post-apocalyptic or nuclear war or nuclear conflict type films. I'm really into that kind of stuff. I've seen lots of them, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I would rather organise some of the live stream stuff so that you've got something to tell about. Sleep? What sleep? I know, right? But no, I do like the nuclear war, post-apocalyptic stuff. Not so much I mean, I like Mad Max, but not that type of film. But actually, quite grim, scary ones about the potential of World War III and stuff. I've seen a lot of them. So many you suggest, I'll say I've seen it. But, Threads, obviously, The Day After, World War III with David Soul, which I watched recently. What did I watch recently? Well, obviously, When the Wind Blows. The Last Battle by Luc Besson. Oh, haven't heard of that one. Obviously, The War Game. I've got the copy of that. A Boy and His Dog. That was Don Johnson. That was pretty good. Even the Planet of the Apes films, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, is pretty good. The Last Battle by Luc Besson. I'll have to look into that. Anything with Jean Reno, yeah. Brian, how you doing, man? All right. A Boy and His Dog, yeah. Just mentioned it. Yeah. So I saw that. That was good. On the Beach is weirdly I think there's a remake. There's a color remake of On the Beach, but I've seen the black and white one. That's a nuclear Holocaust type story, but it's got a great storyline because it doesn't really didn't show you the war. It shows you the people waiting for the. Good night, Dr. Mad Studio. Take care now and bye then. But On the Beach was good. On the Beach, the 1950s one. I think Fred Astaire was in it. That was the inspiration for the Ultravox song "Dancing with Tears in My Eyes." The Quiet Earth. No, I haven't heard that one. Sounds good. That kind of thing, like The War Game and Threads. Day After. Someone's buzzing me. Who is buzzing me? It's Instagram. A message from Instagram. No, spam. I don't like getting spammed in my inbox because I've seen it. I've seen it all. Yeah. So, guys. Oh wow, we got 9 viewers. Just as Dr. Mad Studio leaves, we seem to have people have just popped up out of the blue. Hello, 9 viewers, whoever you are. Feel free to say hi in the chat box. I've been chatting for over an hour and a half now, and if you haven't joined me before, I don't often do lives, but I do like doing lives. I've been drinking wine constantly, which is good, always good, talking about all sorts of random stuff, nothing planned. But if you are 9 people watching, give us a quick hello in the chat. Seem to be a friendly bunch here. Okay, good comic called Vic and Blood by Richard Corbin and I think Jan Strand. Might be a version of Boy and His Dog. Ooh, possibly. Yeah, I do like post-apocalyptic nuclear type stuff. Maybe one day I'll write a film or something. Or a book. I did start writing a book after the Kangazang trilogy. I did start writing a book, which I am a third of the way into, which is a kind of my version of 1984. But I've never got around to finishing it. And it's very serious. It's hard sci-fi. But it's sort of, the near future, but things are getting bad. Dystopian future type stuff. Totalitarian societies and all that malarkey, which is good. But again, there are 9 people watching. Hi guys, yeah, it's a wee bit late for some of you to just join us. As I said, I'm going to have to go in a minute. Just do a bit tidy up, bit of work, and see if I can catch a film before I go to bed. And finish off what little vino I have left. This is all science. I'm trying to work out if this brand of wine gives me a headache, because it has done so far. Yeah. Life, the universe and everything, right? Cheers. Ah. Do you know what I like about this? Not only is it just rosé, it's got slightly carbonated. Ever so slightly carbonated. So it feels like you're drinking cherryade or something. Very, very fruity. Very nice. Yeah, I used to drink a lot of red wine and white wine, but can't do red wine very much nowadays. Rosé man, unfortunately. Which sounds a little bit ooh-ducky, but, you know, who cares? It's the 21st century, there are no more lines, as George Carlin said. Oh, guys, a dystopian version of Alice in Wonderland, that rings a bell. Yeah. By the way, Glazy, before I go, I did speak to Sean about the AI Christmas book. He said it's an amazing idea. The only thing he did say was, why wait till Christmas? We should do a summer one or something to get it out long before Christmas. Because Christmas is quite a way off and other people may have done it by then. So we should get a book out sooner. Because it's a great angle to say it's a book that's completely written and illustrated in AI. That'll be mental. Although Christmas is a great idea for follow-up. Anyway, ladies, gentlemen, and the 8 of you, we had 9 people watching tonight, which I think is some kind... Can you all keep a little tally of 9? Because if I ever get into double figures, I'll be over the moon. You know, I watch loads of people do these things where they've got, like, Advocar. Yes! Snowballs, man. Do you know, it was only about 5 years ago somebody first gave me mulled wine. I'm like, wow, this is tasty. And eggnog. Bring it on. Why have I not had this before? Anyway, like I say, if we ever get into double figures, I'll be over the moon. I've seen people having, 20,000 viewers on their lives, or even, 100 or something. It's great. I'm happy if I get to 10. Anyway, guys and gals, whoever's watching, thanks for joining me tonight. It's livened up what would normally be quite a boring Saturday night. I'm going to go try and watch a movie now. Finish off this wine. Get an early-ish night, because I've got some more work to do tomorrow on my Andor build before I get back to the day job. And I will see you all soon. So, thanks everyone. Good night. Take care. And I will... there's a video coming up on Tuesday. It's already uploaded, ready to go. And I need a bikini-clad assistant. A bikini-clad anything would be good. Anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for chatting to each other, etc., etc. I'm going to end the stream now. So take care now, and bye-bye then.